Well, here's the beans right by my house. These are a 2-0, but they shouldn't be dying yet, but they are. Filled out somewhat decent. I don't know. There's pods on them. There's going to be beans here anyways, but pretty much the whole field's turning a little bit. There's still some green, but you can see the neighbor's corn across the road over there, pretty brown in a lot of spots, and I got the same thing out here. Dying there. See down in the low spots, it's green yet. These beans are 2-3, I think. I don't know. They're not dying off like the other ones yet, but their pods are pretty flat yet. So yeah. Well, this farm is some pretty heavy dirt, but it's firing up pretty good too. You can tell the heavier areas that are greenery up, but this is the type of farm like the other one that's it's better on a dry year, but this has gone a little bit too far. Oh, we'll find an in-between spot somewhere. Yeah, I'll get out and walk in here. So this is kind of interesting. You can see I'm still on the end rows, but I'm in a point row where these are the side dress machine coming from these rows, and obviously this crack here is from the other one. So she's dry. This one I think I counted as 18 around by I don't know, probably 26. This one was 16 around by 30 some. Planted about 32.5, somewhere in there. So yeah, I don't know what that equates to, but kind of an average spot. Down there is a little greener. Down there is a little browner. So yeah. So I don't know if that's even showing up where the milk line is. It's spots I've seen it up to about halfway down. I don't know if that shows up or not. Of course it ain't gonna focus on my thumbnail or something. Come on. Well, whatever. It's about a third of the way down. So got a couple weeks yet before it's mature, but we're supposed to have 90s, so in wind, so it's yeah, gonna go fast. So this is the same variety that I have at home, that first field where I showed you where they were dying off, and this is kind of a knoll here. Obviously they're burning up. Got some weed escapes out in this field. It gets manure put on it about every year, so, and it's kind of a wet farm anyways, so it's always those low spots that the weeds start poking through. Stupid water, you know. But they are starting to turn a little color too. Might not be able to see much from this light. Well, maybe from this side you can see a little bit better. I know I can see the camera better anyway, so. But this is heavy ground, this farm is. Usually it's wet. But, so it should shine on a year like this. Perfect example of compaction, wetter ground. Stuff's still pretty green. And then you start hitting lighter spots that fire in a little bit more. I'll go up and see if I can get on top of the manure tank here. So here's the bird's eye view of this field. Part of it. Should have did this a different time of the day so you could see probably better. But this side of the creek's a little heavier, gets a little bit, there's lighter spots on the other side of the creek that are burning up pretty good. But so yeah. Doesn't fill up when you don't have rainwater. Well, what the heck, I just want to show some of the neighbors' beans too. These are Asgrow seed beans. They didn't get these planted until later because they had to wait for the seed. Came from some foreign country or something. So I think they're them new, whatever they call them, Extendiflex beans or whatever. Really don't look too bad. So yeah, there used to be a fence along here, but I try to keep it mowed and sprayed up just because I drive up here every day. So yeah, there's my uncle's farm. You can tell we're getting into lighter soil. Things are burning up pretty good. Should have sprayed for volunteer corn, but we didn't. Need to mow this too, but these are a different variety or later variety out in this part, so they've got better color to them. They're a little bit taller, but they're just farther behind too. And without rain, we got no rain forecasted, so yeah, don't mind the volunteer corn. It looks like crap, I know. It'll be interesting. Neighbor's irrigator comes in on this corner, so part of that little sliver of beans here gets irrigated, and then I think there's like 12 acres of the corn there that gets irrigated. So, well, I'm gonna walk out onto that hill here. Well, perfect example. We're getting into some lighter soil here. Not as much water holding capacity. You can tell we had the potential. The ear size was there, but yeah, just started aborting stuff, and I guess I didn't count it, but you can tell by the size of my hand that's it's not real good. Get up here where it's light ground. This stuff's only a little over waist high, and I guess it's got an ear, but not very many kernels on it. Some of these don't even have ears on them. This is probably the driest spot on this whole field, but you get the idea. It's drought stressed. This is mainly pretty well sand, except for this corner down in here. It was dry enough this year, we actually got it planted. And it's gonna be the best field, or best corn in the whole field, that little field. So, yeah. Everything gets drier the farther south you go. The ground gets lighter. Looking pretty ugly. Not a whole lot of green left in that field. These aren't my fields. Oh, everything is pretty well done down here. Pretty ugly. This this is the little patch that I do for my cousin. Keep in mind, this should be just as green as the rest of the stuff. It's just burned up. Was about 10 feet tall too. So, was nice and tall. Got to tassel out, started pollinating, and it basically hasn't rained down here hardly since. But it's about 8 or 10 kernels around now, and maybe 16 long. But there's plenty of areas out here that I'm sure it's anything like 2012. There's nothing there. This field it's got a couple veins in it that are a little bit heavier dirt that, I don't know. But in between there's going to be a lot of zeros. So, glad it's not all like this. But yeah. Probably be harvesting this one first, I would imagine, anyways. I don't know how strong these stalks are. Yep. Didn't take much to break him off. Bumper crop. So, yep, that's probably enough. Hopefully you enjoyed a little bit of a drive around. I'm not going to show you every single field. You're probably bored enough the way that it is. So, catch you later.